Okay, so the stream has started a bit later today. Um, I had a bunch of stuff that I needed to do. Um, so unfortunately, I missed the OG versus Viking GG match. Best of three. OG ended up winning 0. But I am still trying to um, look at take a look at the replay before I start watching the other OGA pit matches. But unfortunately, I'm not able to find the games um, on Dota right now. So I'm gonna see if I can find it on Google somehow. What are we doing? Okay. I guess I should be able to find it on Dota Buff, the match ID and stuff. Um, hmm. Where is it? Match one, match two. Okay. Actually, let me share the browser window. It's here. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Match one, you on Dota Buff. Match two as well. You on Dota Buff. Okay. Cool. All right. So I think I have the match ID for this. So I should be able to find it if I am not mistaken. Awesome. Right. Wait, I feel like this was the second game. Oh, go back. Excuse me. No, okay, I was right. Um, okay, let me put on some music. So quiet. I'm not speaking. All right. Let me change screens. See. Oh, I do need to change the title of the stream as well. Forgot about. watching. Uh, Season 2. Please bear with me while I update my screen title. Okay, cool. So that's done. Um, let's get straight into game one. I wonder how much time I have before the Nigma game starts. Okay, so I have 2 hours before the Nigma match, so that works out well. Um, I might watch that as well, depending on whether or not I'm feeling uh, too tired. Okay. So with the Nigma game, apparently Kuro is out because he has a hand injury. So he's being substituted with Roman Peli, who is currently the coach of Nigma. So it'll be interesting to say. I don't think I've ever seen um, Roman play before. Okay, let's get straight into the OG game. So this is game one of two because they ended up winning both matches. I will mute the observers for now because I kind of want to see how they draft. Okay, so each team has 6 bans. OG bans Beastmaster first, and IO from Viking GG side. I think no one wants to have IO on OG side. PTSD from the last TI. And even though IO's been nerfed since then, I have seen a bunch of pro players play IO as carry. They tend to rush Helm of Dominator first and go straight into an MKB. Um, so we get 2 picks from OG, Undying and Magnus. Um, Undying is a pretty good support, I want to say. Um, I personally only played him like twice or thrice, so I don't understand like the full potential of the hero. Um, but obviously really good against strength heroes. Um, and really good in team fights if you're not able to take out the tombstone in time. Same way Phoenix's egg works. If you're not able to pop it off during team fights, it can do a lot of damage and create a lot of chaos as well. So OG do ban out the Broodmother. Um, I'm guessing this is because they want to avoid any sort of cheese picks from the side of Viking. And I think we have seen Viking pick a lot of cheese heroes in the past. Viking bans Darkseer and Lifestealer. Lifestealer, I guess, because they know that OG picks Darkseer a lot. Um, I know that Seb plays a lot of Darkseer, mid one as well, but mid one has transitioned to the safe one um, after Sumail left the roster. And in turn, OG bans Slark. Interesting. I think that's because Slark is really good against strength heroes. And so if let's assume that either Magnus or Undying go into the off lane. Most probably Magnus will be an off laner. Um, Magnus immediately has a shit lane because of Slark, and they don't want to ruin their lane so easily. Um, Viking ban out Morph and OG ban out Phoenix. Interesting. So they end up picking Veno along with the Clockwork on Viking GG side. Um, I guess these chat wheels are never going to stop, given that OG is thing. Um, clock is a really good position for, I want to say, really good at engaging and even putting enemy supports out of position and really good at making those early game rotations as well. Um, Veno, even if he does have a shit lane, I'm assuming that Veno is going to be Viking GG's off laner here. Um, even if Veno does have a shit lane, it is easy for him to recover, given that he has plague wards. So I haven't really seen a lot of Veno being picked up this early into the game. But I suppose you don't want to reveal your mid laner or your safe laner. So the most sensible thing to do is pick your off lane. Um, Viking GG ban out the AM and OG ban out Snap. Um, I guess Snap is a good counter for the the Tombstone, and so they don't want um, Viking to have an answer to that. So that's a sensible ban. And end up picking Invoker on the side of OG. Um, Viking answer that with a Doom. Interesting. I guess um, with the Clock, Veno, and Grimstroke, they have a lot of slow and disable um, from the side of Viking. Hey Feno, what's up? How's it going, man? They end up picking Spectre on the side of OG. Pretty standard carry. Um, don't think I've seen OG pick Spectre in a while, but I think it should work for them this game. Uh, just given the amount of damage that comes out from the side of Viking, they want to be able to play around a strong carry that can actually tank a lot of damage as well. OG again ban out another cheese pick, Meepo. Um, and in turn, Viking bans out the Rubik. I suppose it is a pretty good Rubik game. Um, Rubik can easily steal Doom, can easily steal Hookshot. A lot of good spells that can be stolen from the Radiant side. Um, and now they ban out the Wind Ranger um, from Viking side, and OG ban out Ursa. Oh my god. Dude, I haven't seen Lion being picked in a pro game in a very long time. I'm very surprised. I did a replay review, I think last week or the week before, where I said Lion is a pretty shit hero this meta. Um, but obviously, who to prove me wrong other than OG themselves? So I'm guessing Spectre is going to be safe lane, Invoker mid, most likely Topson. Undying is either going to be played by um, No Tail or by Saksa. I wonder what Viking ends up picking last. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Interesting, Juggernaut. I do think that um, Viking have a better early game compared to OG. Um, but I don't know if that's enough um, to keep them ahead and actually win the game. Okay, I'm gonna skip through this. I did see a clip, I think early this morning or late last night. Um, and obviously because OG is all are all in um the same area now, and they're basically like doing a boot camp and we're getting ready for the tournament. They've been practicing a lot, and Topson has been at rank 500, I think, um, around like 2 weeks ago, like 2.5 weeks ago, and just within the last um, like week, he's been able to climb to rank 258, which is fucking insane. Um, and there was a clip that somebody posted yesterday where where you see Topson playing Invoker and sending out a deafening blast, and immediately after that using his Cataclysm and um, getting all 5 kills on the enemies, like fucking insane. Um, Topson is has always like been um, one of the players on OG that continues to surprise me and surprise a lot of people. Um, and I guess with their like mediocre performance, I want to say in their last tournaments, um, especially with a lot of the ping issues and like the players not synergizing as well as they could be. I think people were kind of doubting Dobson and you know, his inability to kind of dominate the mid lane the way he usually does. And also making a lot of misplays, um, which is not very Dobson-esque. But I am glad to see he's back in form. So we have Spectre and Undying on the top lane versus Clock and Veno. I actually don't think it's a bad lane for Spectre. Um, I would have expected I would have expected Viking to set up a more difficult lane for Spectre, but so far it seems like mid one is not having any sort of issues whatsoever. He's even beating the Veno in terms of CS, already 11-1 compared to Veno's 4-3. So Veno skilled Venomous Kill and Poison Sting in his first 2 levels. Aramis has killed Battery Assault and Power Cogs, pretty standard for Clock at this stage. Um, no Tail with Decay and Soul Rip on the Undying. Unfortunately, No Tail's courier gets picked off. So in the mid lane, it's more or less an even matchup. I guess Dobson is slightly ahead because it is easy for Doom to secure um, a creep every 70 seconds with his Devour. So I'm gonna take off two of those creeps in his CS. I think that's free CS, and I'm not gonna consider that. But at the same time, I think in terms of net worth, if Doom is able to stay even um, a little lower in terms of CS against Dobson, he will be uh, higher net worth just because of Devour and the extra gold that it gives. So Seb is doing pretty well in the offlane. No Tail dies to a neutral creep. I'm sure he's very happy about that and must be laughing to his teammates. So Venom ends up getting a bracer as his first item. Um, Maybe because he knows he is not super tanky so far, and he's been having a difficult time. I want to say just surviving. Um, but he is almost on par with mid one in terms of net worth. So doesn't seem like things are going as bad as it was initially, at least. Saksa draws first blood on the Grimstroke. Now this is what I like to see on a lion at level 3. Um, I do think it's super valuable to have both forms of disable. Um, a lot of the time you see, like at least in the pubs that I have seen, um, people tend to either max out the Earth Spike or max out the Mana Drain and don't skill a level in Hex by level 3. And it's I do think it's super valuable to have two forms of disable so early on in the game. I'm sure both No Tail and Seb are super happy to be playing on the same team again professionally. Just a second, I'll just be right back. So I won't be going through the whole replay um, because it is an hour long, and I do want to make sure that I'm able to finish watching both of the OG matches and still have time to be ready to watch um, the Nigma match that's coming up. I think that's in 2 hours from now. All right. Um, so Dobson seems to be doing fine in the mid lane. More than fine, actually. He is the highest in terms of last hits and denies. Um, Seems like he's not going more of a Quaswex build this game. Um, from the very little that I obviously know about playing Invoker, if you are going Quaswex, you tend to not get any levels in Exalt for the first 6, 7 levels, but he seems to have leveled up Exalt 4 times. So I am guessing that he wants to do a lot of damage early on in the game. Um, I am confused though because both Dobson um, and Mid One are getting drums. Maybe they just like the stats and the mana regen that it gives. Um, and I guess at some point you will end up um, finishing your 6 charges of drums. So it can be valuable to have additional charges. That means they'll. I don't know why the camera is stuck right now. Okay. So that does mean that um, OG's anticipating extended fights from the mid game on a little bit into the late game. So they end up getting a kill on Saksa, but they trade that with a kill on their offlaner Toby. Spectre might just die here. Yep. I was thinking that mid one would have probably gone for a meteor hammer. Um, because it does give you 8 all attributes as compared to drums that only give you 6, and drums also happen to only give you 1.5 mana regen and plus 20 movement speed. The active obviously has a lot of value, but just given the fact that they already have someone with drums on the side of OG, it could have made sense for mid one to have gone for a meteor this game. So Saksa ends up dying once again in the top lane, unfortunately. Um, OG are probably okay with that because their Spectre is farming on the bottom side of their map. And he is farming a big ass stack over here. I mean, this is something that they have definitely planned out before the game starts, right? Um, because you already like you can see that there's some power on the Spectre, and not only that, but um, No-Tail was okay to drop the Tombstone just to help speed up mid one's farm and his XP gain that come out of hitting these neutral camps. Dobson gets gone on in the mid lane. Sep TP's in, but unfortunately is not able to do anything about this engagement unless Doom overextends himself, and seems like he may have a little bit. Overall, decent trade, mid laner for mid laner. Um, Jug is still farming the jungle though. Interesting. So it seems like the Doom hasn't decided to go for a Midas early on in the game, which is justified. I guess they also want to be ready for mid game fights. Um, and if both their co-players go for a Midas, um, it's kind of difficult for them to be able to actually do that. Okay. So Chad is left to his own devices and continues to farm. Um, while we have all 5 players of OG just stuck into the mid lane, uh, trying to push this tier 1 tower. And Chad is obviously very confused and doesn't know whether he should be helping defend the tower or continue to push in the bot lane. But he decides to pressure the bottom side of the map and forces a rotation from the side of OG. Hey Feno, what's up? How's your day been? So Seb seems to have rushed a Guardian Greaves. I have seen him play Magnus, I think last week, and he ended up getting the same starting item. I do think it's very valuable. I don't think a lot of Magnus players build a Greaves. Like, it might be one of the last items that they think of. But it is really important to have that as an offlane player, because you can because at the end of the day, it is your role to be providing sustain for your team. So I am happy to see this item on him. Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just going over the OG versus Viking GG matches because I missed them. So I'm just gonna see the replay and obviously like comment on the game as well. Did you end up watching any of the games? There's Nigma versus FlyToMoon afterwards, I think in an hour and a half or almost 2 hours from now. Okay, so we have a fight breaking down at the bottom lane. I see. Are you a Nigma supporter? Nice. You know that Kuro isn't playing today, right? Or he might have dropped out of the tournament even, because he has a hand injury. Yeah. So Kuro is being substituted by their coach. I forget his name. Roman Pally. Yeah. Nice. Are you gonna watch it today or probably tomorrow, since you have network issues? A fight breaks down in the mid lane. That is OG's favored fighting area. I see. Cool. Who do you think will win? You think Nigma will win without Kuro? Unfortunately, it seems like in the last engagement, more of OG's cores died than Vikings. In terms of XP change, yeah, it was mostly Radiant favored the last fight. Yeah, fair enough. I think Nigma should win as well. Obviously, don't know how the substitute will fare in the game. Uh, I'm guessing a lot of the calls are made by Kuro, but uh, I did I did watch an interview, I think a month or two ago, when they were playing in one of these tournaments, and he was saying that initially a lot of the calls were made by him, but he is being a lot more flexible now, and I think like all of the players are being a lot more involved now in making decisions and plays like inside the game. So in terms of net worth, more or less even right now in the game. Um, Viking are leading by 1k, but that's not a big lead. Um, in terms of net worth, you still have Jug and Doom on the highest net worth in the team. Very expected outcome um, from Doom, but Jug seems to have gotten a lot of farm in the early game when all of OG's heroes were basically sitting at mid and pressuring the tier 1. Kuro is a very good captain. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think um I don't think it'll be easy for them to do that, to be very honest. They also don't seem to have a spirit vessel on the side of Viking, and I don't think anyone is planning on going for that item either. Uh, yeah, Spectre can soak in a lot of damage. That's very true. Does Guardian Greaves cancel out a spirit vessel charge? I'm not very sure. Uh, Dispel type, basic dispel. Spirit vessel. Um, it doesn't say. I need to check that out. Because if that is the case, then it makes sense for Viking to not get a spirit vessel. But if you're not going spirit vessel, then you need some sort of answer for the spec, right? You don't want to be dishing out all of that damage and have it go on to your allies. It's like the worst way to play against the Spectre. Okay, so Seb goes in for a pull. Does he RP though? He does RP, of course. No tail dies, goes back, buys back, and immediately TPs back to try to be a part of this fight. Roshan is pretty low though, so it does seem like Dyer won't be able to contest it, but I could be wrong. Dobson is pretty low on mana, so I don't know if they can continue to defend the Roche pit for very long. Seb is TPing in to the top outpost, so I do think they might have a chance. He also has Guardian Grief, so we'll be able to heal the team back, and that's exactly what he does. Nice. That could have been a waste of Soulbind from the side of Viking GG. What happened to the Discord? I mean, I haven't really promoted it that much yet. I set it up. If I don't know if you got the link yesterday. Did you not get the link? So it seems like OG is still just sitting around the Roche pit. You didn't get it? I can send it to you. Wait. Right after this fight. Cool. So they do manage to pick up the Aegis, and also get a kill on the Jug. That's super value. He is the highest net worth hero on the entire map. So this could just change everything for OG. They also end up getting a pick off on the Veno. The poor Clock might also just be dead. Oh man. And they're feeding all of the kills to Spectre as well. 2 out of those 3 kills went to Spectre. So mid one has immediately gone for a Manta right after finishing his drums. Seb gets a Blink Dagger. No Tail, being pause 5, is still stuck with Tranquil Boots and a Ring of Basilius with a Magic Wand, but also has 1.5k in the bank, so he could pick up something really valuable right now. Dobson has finished his Acronyms and is going for an Octarine right after. Also has a set of drums. Yeah, let me just share the link with you. Just a second. Discord. Okay, so they do go in for a hookshot, manage to catch Dobson all by himself. I do feel like that's the best time, or like the only occasion where Dobson ends up dying is when he's by himself. Okay. Where is the Discord link? All right, there you go. Okay, so they do have a Spirit Vessel finally. Who is the one to have picked it up though? I'm confused. I don't see any carriers on the side. Oh, of course, Clockwork. I see. Maybe I didn't notice that earlier. So 3 of heroes, of OG's heroes go down. They are still debating whether or not to engage in a fight, but they finally back out. Dobson has queued up a Skadi next, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Skadi. I guess to obviously make him more tanky, and reduce any sort of heal that comes from the side of Viking GG. Saksa has gone for an early Aether Lens and 4 stuff. Dude, this is the kind of item build that you need to go if you're playing a pause 4. If you're playing a pause 4 Lion. Like, I hate fucking seeing Lion players just rushing for a blink and rushing for an Ags right after. It's like it's the greediest like item build that you can ever build as a support player, especially as a support Lion. I do think it's okay to rush blink and rush Ags if you play Lion as a mid hero, but just see the amount of kite potential and like survivability. Not only that, but he is able to disable enemy heroes from a very long range with the Aether Lens, and I think that's super valuable and a lot more useful than having a blink Ags. So they do engage in a fight. Spectre has taken a lot of the damage, but is able to kind of juke them around. Might end up dying either way. Um, but I think OG is still okay with that. Um, both Doom and Omni Slash were used. I believe Venom's ulti was also used at the same time. Um, Spectre does have a long respawn time. So that does mean that Viking are able to get more resources and more out of the map right now. But Seb is pushing into the bot lane. Does get hookshotted and might just die here. That's too bad. Celery gets picked off by Saksa. I mean, Saksa is somehow able to get 5 Finger of Death kills, man. That's crazy. And now the good thing is, if he ever does decide to go for an Axe, which he has obviously queued up right after, he immediately has that bonus damage that can be dealt when doing those Finger of Death kills with his Axe. This is a much smarter item to go for, I think. It shows some error. I see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, I've sent you a friend request. You should get it anytime soon. It's fine. I can do it now. Not a big deal. Okay. So Seb is queuing up a Lotus Orb. Really good against the Grimstroke with his Soulbind, his Phantom's Embrace. Also really good against Doom and Spirit Vessel actually. Oh, I see. No problem. That's fine. I sent you another request. So it does seem like OG wants to take a fight in the bottom lane. They immediately get the Doom kill. They do try to get something out of this. Doom immediately buys back. But look at how tanky Spectre is, man. It's fucking crazy. They do manage to get the double Doom. That's fucking crazy. Kind of sad that the Lotus Orb didn't come to use in this fight. But overall, still a pretty decent trade, I want to say. They did have to buy back on the Doom, and in terms of kills, they're both even. Let's see what the fight recap shows. Goal change. Okay, so it's still it is dire favored in terms of the XP, but slightly favored in terms of gold change towards the Radiant side. And immediately Viking GG goes into the Roche pit. This should be pretty much uncontested because RP is on cooldown. I do believe No-Tail does have Tombstone available, but I don't think OG feels like this is worth being contested. So they have a BKB on the Doom, Aegis given to the Doom instead of the Jug because they have no buyback on the Doom. Makes perfect sense. I wonder if there are better items, like better neutral items that the Doom could pick up. I do like the 25 HP regen on the Doom, but you know, if you are getting bursted down, then there's really no value in that, unfortunately. I would have liked to probably see an additional form of disable from the side of Viking. Unfortunately, Topson gets picked off. Just bad positioning, I want to say. Not entirely sure what he was doing there. I do wanna go back a little bit and see what he was trying to achieve. Okay, so you see Vano dying. Dobson knows that there's a Jug there and tries to pick him off. But obviously there's a sentry, right? Like you can't you can't expect to just go to the enemy high ground not expecting them to have any form of detection or vision whatsoever. So Dobson does get picked off because of that play that he made. But it's Dobson, and he is used to making these kind of plays and recovering from it somehow. Yeah, indeed. So in terms of net worth, it's still, even though it is Radiant favored, they're not up by much. They're only up by 2,000 gold. So OG still have a very strong fighting chance in this game. I do think that once Doom uses his ulti, like once Doom uses his Doom, he doesn't really contribute too much to the fight, I want to say. He does bring in a lot more value with the Infernal Blade upgrade with the Ags. But the targets that they mostly want to focus on is the Spectre and the Invoker. And Infernal Blade mostly does a lot of damage to strength heroes, I want to say, or heroes with a lot of HP. I see. Well, then it is pretty valuable against the Spectre. My bad. Hookshot onto Seb. Yeah, feels bad, man. Cool. Sounds good. Thank you for tuning in. Good night, man. I'll see you tomorrow. Man, that is exactly what I expected to happen. Doom pops the BKB. No, he doesn't. Oh man, he blinks in and immediately is taken away by Seb. Holy shit. Also ends up using a BKB and now has no way to survive. Look at that. Just fucking look at that. Oh my god. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. See you. Oh man, that tip back must feel so good. Thanks. Good night. I think from this point on, it should be very easy for OG to close this game. They don't have Doom for a good 95 seconds. Although they do have a repair kit uh, and glyph on the side of Radiant. OG should at least be able to take another tier 2, if not the tier 3 and a set of racks. So mid one feels very comfortable tanking all of the damage from the tier 3 tower. Also just managed to get a BKB on himself. Not an item that you see a lot on Spectre, but makes a lot of sense because you want to be able to do a lot of right click damage in addition to just being the person that counters a lot of damage and dishes it out to the enemies. Also very valuable against the Infernal Blade, right? He still has 9 seconds left, a 9-second duration left on his BKB, so I do think the next 2 or 3 fights should be OG favored. Magnus also has a magic lamp, so they are really survivable on the side of OG. I want to say. I will be surprised if the next fight is Radiant favored. So Viking goes for a smoke. Are expecting OG to be going into the dire triangle. They do have vision though, and they can clearly see that OG are camped on their side of the map. But I'm assuming OG knows that they are expecting a smoke to be coming their way as well. And this is basically OG just baiting them. I don't know if it'll work out in their favor. Oh man. Dude, look at that. Look at the Doom's HP, man. Holy shit. Holy shit. That was a very good bait by OG. That was a very good bait. The Doom is left with no buyback, unfortunately. Jug might just get picked off as well. Immediately buys back. Because they have no other choice, unfortunately. Dude, the tips are coming in, man. The tips are fucking coming in. Yeah. They should be able to throne. If not throne, at least get both sides of racks. And maybe move into the Roche pit once Roche is up. But I don't think that would be necessary. I think most Omni Slash is on cooldown. But they really want to close this game ASAP. Like try to make Radiant make some sort of mistake, such as this one. I'm not sure if Celery has buyback, but even if he does, I don't think that makes a big difference. And unfortunately, Celery does not have buyback. I think OG are just one of those teams that have a very good understanding of when they're strong and when they should be taking fights. Even though they knew that they would be going for a 5 versus 5 when they were camped on the Radiant side of the map. They knew at the end of the fight that they would be able to be the ones on top. And they guessed correctly, for sure. Man. What a really good game of Dota from the side of OG. Ridiculous. I am definitely happy to see Seb back in the team, and also really happy with the final composition of the team now. I do think that it was a little imbalanced. Like, I don't want to say in a bad way, but I don't know how well the previous lineup synergized compared to the one right now. All right. So that's game 1 done. Let me see if I can do game 2 as well before the Nigma match. Oh, so I think the Nigma game might be live actually. I see. Well, in that case, I will probably watch this game live and do a commentary on the OG match later. That means I will just take a backseat and play, let the real commentators do their work, and just listen to them. And in the meantime, obviously have my food and come back a little later into the stream. I might play a game or two later into the night, we'll see. But for now, I'm happy to just watch these games because they are very entertaining. Just one small update from Nigma's side. They don't have Kuro in their lineup right now because he does have a hand injury and he is being substituted with Nigma's coach. Damn, I keep forgetting his name. Nigma coach. Roman. Roman Pale, however you say it. So this is Nigma versus FlyToMoon. Still on game 1 of a best of 3. So far, it seems like Nigma is leading in terms of kills, but the net worth is more or less even. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna switch to a browser window so we can see the game with the live commentary. All right, I'll be back in a bit. Peace.
Maybe not the best with that for mind control.
Just losing all doesn't matter on mind control. So annoying.
FlyToMoon, is PL going to be enough? Like, obviously Magnus is getting farmed too. He's got the blink as well as the BKB and the Echo Saber. Like, he's doing everything he can to stick with it, and he's very far ahead of Weeha, but at the same time, he's 0-2 compared to Weeha, who's 7-2-6. You can tell the difference in effectiveness, despite the fact that he's a lot lower in net worth.
Mm-hmm. Maybe with the blink, with a BKB reveal from the Mag, they feel like they can fight now. The problem is this is the problem I was saying, where they don't have a great catch. That's why I thought they'd pick something like Sand King last as their offlaner and put the Ember as a core. Because they're really struggling to like find these openings, especially on heroes like GH on the Shaker, who if you don't bring him down first, like this counter initiation that can come through from the Echo is so potent. And like this Void Spirit can just roll his head across the keyboard and escape. Like, they're going to find another one mid here.
Aether Remnant locks up a dance. Fissure to follow it up. Astral Step, and they've got another. It's 19-9. I don't know when the last time FlyToMoon got a kill was, but it certainly feels like a while.
Aegis just go down here, though. They're trying to play around their vision here, though, on the high ground on FlyToMoon. Nigma just playing the other side of the mid lane.
So,
Like, with the net worth in itself, this Void Spirit doesn't feel like he should be massively scary, but there's an Iron Shell on top of him. So, like, when he runs in like this, he's really difficult to deal with. What does he have coming out on Courier? Oh, he has an Orchid. Like, I don't know, PL has Manta, but General has to be really careful about that. Like, if he can just ever find one of these supports, they just instantly died to the Orchid as well.
Nice
Oh,
path.
what are yours?
Trying to go with the skewer, but he actually skewers into an Aether Remnant, which allows him to get hit by the magic missile. So BKB's Popeye Iceberg looking over at mind control, uses the RP to just go onto the darts here, but the Echo Slam
GH though.
from GH on the back line. Fissure hits on all of them. There's the vacuum wall, and all of a sudden things are falling apart very quickly for the side of FlyToMoon. You've got Miracle in here with the Metamorphosis. They'll get the kill into GH as well as Weeha. They've lost a couple of heroes on the side of Nigma, so now the BKB's been Popeye Miracle. They go after mind control, who's dead again. They get the kill, 45 seconds on the sideline, but they lose Aloha Dance. LeBron, Iceberg trying to do all they can.
BKB's running out.
But it's problematic for Nigma. It started off so well. They'll lose RMN and FlyToMoon. They're so successful in this engagement. They've got the Shockwave. They'll get the Sunder off, but it won't matter. Miracle's going down whether you like it or not. And FlyToMoon V-Tune with a triple kill to win that fight.
When GH found that like opening on the Echo Slam on the backline, like, it's okay, but I think he has to be your hero that's like controlling the PL in the fights. Because if your Shake is not the one controlling the PL, then I don't know who is. And if he's going to find that opening onto the two supports in the backline, they have to have somebody else there to like follow up with the damage. Because that's the Keeper of the Light just didn't die, right? Then all of a sudden, turns around, they get the Will-O-Wisp off, so the TB has to pop his BKB relatively early in the fight just to try and kill it.
It looks so good.
Yeah, really good fight though for FlyToMoon.
It started off so well for Nigma. It really looked like they were going to get a very quick kind of fight out of that. GH, the Echo Slam positions onto the back lines, like it looked like it was there, but it all falls apart. So close, you know, a game of 10 HP or so.
And then all of a sudden, PL just has 4k net worth, right? Like, it's such a big difference now between where he was and what he's got now. Because all of a sudden he's going to have like another big item out, right? Like maybe it's a Basher, maybe he wants to go for Skadi or something. We'll have to see. He's got Butterfly queued up now as well, so maybe he just goes Abyssal into the Butterfly. But I don't know whether he saw, but TB's building Butterfly. And I'd like to think that if he knew the TB was going Butterfly, he might consider building an MKB. Or maybe they feel like they have enough magic damage to deal with the TB, even though he's got BKB, right?
Yeah.
Are scanning.
And that RP, well, you know, it was only on mind control. I wasn't certain it was going to be enough. But it ends up being enough for FlyToMoon. They get the full team wipe. Now they find themselves General for Nigma, and they will grab this Ember once again, who's now 1-6-4.
Yeah, back to the pickoff game for Nigma.
5-on-5.
I think General really needs a BKB, I think, on this Ember now. Or like maybe even a Lotus as well is pretty good up against the TB to like stop him from trying to sunder targets specifically. But I think he just needs a way of being able to purge the Orchid as well. It's really important. We are just running around though everywhere, being as annoying as possible.
V-Tune taking a lot of damage. You know, that Orchid comes in and all of a sudden you find the right one, you can really output quite a bit, and it becomes a bit of a problem for V-Tune. Not the end of the world just yet. So 2k lead for FlyToMoon this game. Another one of those close ones. I mean, the biggest lead is what we have right now. Slight Searing Chains, Dual Breath. Use the Glimmer Cape, but they've got the Ice Path as well as some Dust, so RMN will fall. 4 heroes down here bottom. Well. They're trying to go in onto the Coddle. They've got Mind Control right on Aloha Dance with GH on his tail. So, well, there's the Vacuum, and there's the Totem. So they will control Aloha Dance. It's just a matter of time until he goes down.
We have just stuck in trees, dude. They want to try and fight bot here, though. They know that the rest of FlyToMoon are down here. They're trying to kind of like bait somebody out. And Miracle's going to run into Iceberg.
He'll find this Magnus. BKB committed. The skewer away, and the TP attempt, which will be there.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. They managed to get a mag 9-second BKB out of there for nothing, really. So
Yeah.
feels pretty good.
Now down to 8 seconds.
Nice. He has almost got the Abyssal, though, on the PL, so might be able to try and help him deal with this Void Spirit, with their lack of lockdown. You know, we were saying that he's been really difficult to catch so far, so with the Aura Destruction as well, his damage output now is going to be huge.
Is he going to keep that Quickening Charm? He's actually giving it away. I'm surprised.
What have we here?
Ember's going to take the Quickening Charm, okay.
That's pretty good. Pretty good Ember. And he did go for that Lotus, by the way. I like this pickup from General. Oh, TB gets an orb as well. That's fair. At least they both get one. I hate when like one team gets an Illusionist cape or something and the other doesn't, and they both have Illusion heroes.
They're setting up. Look at where GH is. Waiting for somebody to come through.
They really want to just carry on playing around Vision on both sides.
If they can catch a little hot dance, that would be great. Ice Path Lens onto 1. They've also got the Root coming through there. The Will-O-Wisp is in. BKB's been popped by Miracle going after V2, and they've got the Magnifier out. And RMN, he'll be caught, he'll be killed. 46 seconds without buyback.
And that's a TB BKB for nothing. Like he pops it to kill the Will-O-Wisp, but he realizes that, like, even with the Vision on the high ground they have, they can't really push up. It's so difficult for them. And now that PL has Abyssal, like, I think TB has to be really scared. They are? Oh, they're actually just going to go Roche.
You got to try and get something out of it, right? You've used your BKB, you've used your meta. It's a big timing that you'd have to wait on.
It feels like, from even watching this game, that FlyToMoon, it feels like they're lacking, like, direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which we said... Well, I said before the draft, I thought Kuroki was more important to Nigma than FlyToMoon, so that Always Want to Fly was to FlyToMoon. But it feels like the complete opposite now we're watching this game. Like, it looks like they're really struggling with, like, direction and what they should be doing all the time. Like, there's 2 Roches they've just given up for free, right, this game. When they, you know, they still had RP up, they could have still fought. And there's an AC up on Mag now as well, which is really nice.
Level 21 has that extra 8 armor from the 20 talent. V-Tune, meanwhile, he also just hit level 20, so he's got that extra Phantom Rush range. Are you surprised at the lack of an Ags from Weehaw?
No, I mean, I don't mind the Orchid. Like, it was okay when he hit it, like the timing before, but it feels a little bit lackluster now, right? Because there's a BKB on Mag, Manta on PL. GH is in trouble, though. He's got Blink up, but...
Trying to get away from V-Tune and Surge. They'll find GH, but the vacuum back, not going to matter. Into the wall. Iceberg and V-Tune are in it, but nobody else is coming over. So that is a wall down and on cooldown for 100 seconds. Don't find Mind Control.
And they should be able to take the top tier 1 here, actually. Like, I mean, they can just backdoor it if they want, right?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Miracle about to finish Scotty. He's got that Aegis still to work with for a long time. We'll see if they go for anything once GH is back up.
Is it time for a Twitch chat vote? Is that the...
I'm down. Yeah, go for it.
So, let's just make it nice and easy. Press 1 if you think Nigma are going to win. Right, press 2 if you think FlyToMoon are going to win, because it's pretty close. Like, there's not a huge amount in it here. FlyToMoon might have the lead in terms of gold, but it's only 2k, and Nigma still have this Aegis to work with. Miracle about to pick up the Skadi.
Dire's bottom tower.
Iceberg.
Coming in on a Miracle, and now the Astral Step. They've got RP available as well as the BKB, but Iceberg will use that BKB to just skewer away. So V-Tune thinking about going in. The blink
Big
back.
RP.
Oh, the RP! It's massive! because now they've got the macro power. They'll lay down Weeha and Arman's lives on the ground. They'll take out Mind Control. Miracle trying to fight for everything he's got for the side of Nigma, but it's not working out, that's for sure. You've got V2 and the rest of FlyToMoon around you, and so much trouble ahead. They will get the first life out of the hands of this TB and look for even more. Miracle, he'll try to run, he'll try to get something, but there's the defusal once again inside the ice path. There's the Illuminate. Miracle, can he fight? Can he get anything for his troubles, for his hardships? The Sunder is out. It'll just buy some time, buy some space. But at the end of the day, Miracle, you're dead. You're gone. You're dead on your screen already, and all you can do is hope that the next life is more fruitful.
Odds on PL changing to MKB now after that.
Dire's bottom
All you
tower
people that press
has
1 in
been
chat
denied.
for Nigma, you're going to be sweating now. I like how we asked it just before the big fight came through.
Yeah.
Sick fight from FlyToMoon. A really good RP. I mean, there's not too much else to say about that. Like, they get the RP down, they get the Will-O-Wisp down, follow up Ice Path as well. Wasn't even like perfectly chain stunned, but it doesn't need to be. And they instantly blow up Weeha at the start of the fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They did that without vision on the high ground as well, by the way. Like, really good RP from Iceberg.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Mid lane.
General, not as easy to kill. Especially when it's just Weeha going after him.
I love that he understands his limits so well on the Zero.
Moving forward, the rest of the team coming around. I'm going to see if they can find RMN or anything within this area of the jungle, but they won't.
He's still going Butterfly on the PL. Fair enough.
I thought maybe he'd change it, but he kept it cute.
Oh, Weeha.
Find General, but did he find General or did everybody else find Weeha? Weeha dead for what is now the 5th time. He's 10, 5, and 6. Like, it's not like he's had an awful game or anything. But moments like that I just don't know if you can have if you're Weeha in a spot like this.
And there's a DD that spawned bot here as well.
Oh boy.
Mind Control's just going to take it away from them. It's a bit of a shame because they would have loved to have taken a Roche or something here, right? But Nigma are doing a really good job of just pushing their lanes out, making sure that FlyToMoon can't really get a huge amount from this. And good scan from Nigma there. They know they're coming.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And he does queue the MKB up on the PL now.
Bunch of TPs away. Get some space between them and FlyToMoon. And they're cutting into this net worth deficit. Like, it's 7k, then it's 5k. Like, they're farming quite a bit. The TB's got a lot of farm. I think the big drop-off, though, is that mag to the Void Spirit.
Weeha's just really struggled in the last few minutes or so.
Radiant's
Like,
courier has been
he has his
killed.
BKB now, so he's going to be more difficult to kill. But if they find like an initiation with an Abyssal or like an RP, he's still going to die.
Yeah, they're going to come around the back. BKB's been popped by Weeha. Can they get the kill on the Aloha Dance? Yes, they can. So out of the lockdown there for FlyToMoon, with the Will-O-Wisp no longer being available, is gone. So FlyToMoon will just back off and wait.
He does have
another
buyback though on Keeper. So if something kicks off here, he can just buy back and try and get back to the fight again.
Bounty, which my matriarch will prize.
We're still waiting for that big vac into Echo Slam though, right? We haven't seen that combo all game yet. It's not easy to pull off. I'm not saying that it's definitely going to happen, but
Dire's
we've
middle
seen
tower is under
these top
attack.
teams do this so many times. It reminds me of like the old VP Darkseer Slardar stuff with
Dire's
the
middle
vac into
tower has
Blink
fallen.
Crush.
I just missed the DK Phobos Darkseer days. Bring that back. If Darkseer is back in the meta, does DK Phobos find a team?
Sure.
Does he restart Team Spirit?
Why not?
Get him and Illidan back in pack?
I don't know if he'll find a team because a lot of CIS teams are very stable and they never swap players around, so it might be difficult to form a new team. Kappa 1, 2, 3.
RMN. Spotted and dusted. Dominating
Actually,
for Iceberg.
You know, to be fair, going back to that point, that joke I just made, I wouldn't really call it a joke, it wasn't really funny, but a lot of the CIS teams recently have been pretty good, like, because, you know, historically they've been so bad at just roster swapping constantly all the time, but, like, it feels a little bit better right now.
Especially in a time like this, where I feel like roster swapping would probably be at its peak.
Yeah, 100%, right? Like, well, there's no, like, massive like, lands going on or anything. But it's difficult to know the true strength of your roster, I think, until you play at LANs and stuff.
Bottom.
He has a MKB on Miracle now, on the Terrorblade, so at least this, this PL... Oh.
Right on General.
Is he really going to go for this?
I don't know if he can.
There's an Axe on General now as well. Should probably point that out.
Double damage!
Yeah, probably sees that and knows that they can't make that move. 8k lead though. So, you know, FlyToMoon definitely in a great spot for themselves. A minute 40 until the next Roche is up. They're going to posture around the pit and continue to put the pressure onto Nigma. Extend that lead. But we'll see if Nigma are willing to fight. They've got Miracle as well as Mind Control up forward. The Abyss Blade is used on a GH. GH uses the Ghost Scepter. He tries to get away. Now looking to throw the Fissure, but here comes General. The swap from RMN. That'll save the life of GH. Now the Fissure hits onto the Ember, so General's locked up for a second. However, the Diffusal Blade on a GH and Mind Control, he's trying to swerve his way out of the hands of FlyToMoon.
It's just so difficult for Nigma to like try and push into an area, right? Like they're holding the high ground here on FlyToMoon really well with this vision they've put down, and they're defending it to make sure Nigma can't come and control this area up on the Radiant top jungle.
Oh, Hot Dance giving a tip out to Miracle. He's got that meta available.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't pop meta at least. That's the most important thing, right? And the Roshan spawning in 40 seconds again. I think that's going to be the big fight for both of these teams next.
And if it's right, you know, Nigma, that's a spot that they like fighting. I mean, obviously RP in a funnel position or vacuum into a wall, but Iceberg pops the BKB. They go after GH. GH throws the Echo Slam. Oh no! GH uncharacteristically messes up, but General, he ends up dead regardless. Weeha, he's gone. Buyback comes in from General. They look over at Miracle. Miracle, he
BKB up.
does have this BKB. Looks over at V2. Now Iceberg in some trouble. The Ice Path is down. That'll split up the fight a little bit, but there, back, V2 looking over as the Will-O-Wisp is in. The BKB's been popped by Miracle. He doesn't have the damage. Iceberg on the high ground trying to do what he can, but the blinding light! It sends him up to the high ground or over the cliff. Iceberg ends up dead. V2 still trying to fight, but they are without Iceberg for 94 seconds. They get the kill to LeBron. Dota, they take out RMN. RMN has buyback as well. V2, he's getting low. He's on the run. The wall is down. They'll take out the big bad Phantom Lancer. They'll buy back on this Jakiro. They look over as a low hot dance trying to get out of this one. But the flicker, I think, just sent him a step to the left. Miracle takes out this Okado, and he's got a triple kill as Roche is back up. A huge win for Nigma.
Yeah, really good fight by Nigma. They managed to take control of that high ground that we talked about. They get their own ward down at the start of the fight, and it allows them to see everything. Like, even though GH misses an Echo, the reason that fight's so good is because Miracle has this butterfly, and there's no MKB on the PL yet. Like, it's really difficult for him to fight into the Terrorblade at the moment because he doesn't have that way of piercing not only through the butterfly evasion, but the talent evasion as well. He has an extra 16% on top. It's so difficult for him. And until he has that True Strike coming through, I think Nigma can just fully capitalize on this. And this is a third Roche in a row that is going to go completely uncontested, like, in their favor. I think if Weeha doesn't have the cheese there in that fight and they bring him down before they need to pop the RP, like, the fight goes a lot better for them, right? Because they can use the RP on a different target. But the fact that Weeha manages to get the cheese off that then forces Magnus to use the RP on him means the Terrorblade's just freely allowed to do whatever he wants in this fight. And I love that V-Tune has Rapier queued up as well. I think it's much better than the MKB here. I think you just have to go for it. Like, the full-on True Strike is so important here up against the TB.
Giving the Aegis over to Miracle. But then Cheese and the Ag's Blessing go to the Void Spirit. you know, you didn't want that terror wave, I guess.
Oh, not this TB Ags again. Jesus. It's actually not too. It's not awful, but like I think the voice Ags is just better, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm just messing around, guys. Miracle has Metamorphosis up as well as the BKB, but the BKB is down to 5 seconds. He picks up a Daedalus. I don't think FlyToMoon are going to look to fight until they've got themselves this Divine Rapier, which they're not too far off of. Only 1,000 gold.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They can defend the high ground potentially and, you know, look to make something happen. This is, of course, going to be a Divine Rapier without a Satanic.
I think that's fine though. Like, obviously he'd like to have the Satanic, but at least the Abyssal makes him a little bit more
Radiant's
tanky.
top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Are they going to try and push this in here? I mean, they're holding the high ground, right? But like,
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified.
oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Cliff comes
Okay.
out.
For a
Radiant's
second there.
top tower is under attack.
And look at where GH is positioned. Looking ready to go.
I mean-
not looking to whiff the Echo Slam again.
They really need this rapier, otherwise they can't fight. Like, Miracle's just too strong. He
Yeah.
has the Daedalus as well, so he's really chunking with the leveler onto these buildings. Oh, Ice Path missed.
Radiant's
Thunder.
top tower
He's
is
level
under
25 and he took the Metamorphosis attack range.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Sunder cooldown, which is I'm surprised he did that, but
attack.
he has the
Dire's
Aegis,
bottom
so I
tower
guess he's not really
is
too worried. I honestly think Vitun should just be out farming a rapier somewhere at the moment. Like, I don't think they can defend this without it.
Back off, so now he'll have that opportunity. And he's got the gold now. So, has the gold, we'll pick up the rapier, and then I think they'll look to fight. At least that's what they're
That's
positioning to do.
There's a double damage top here as well, which if PL picks up could be absolutely game changing.
Yeah,
Oh, TV
wise.
denies it.
Very wise.
But look at where Nigma are. Like, they're just holding their positioning really defensively here because they know that they see nobody pushing out this bot lane anymore, right? Like, they know a smoke's going to be happening. It feels pretty obvious, I think.
Yeah, coin.
And they read it well. And here's the rapier.
Yeah, he has that rapier. They tried to smoke, trying to make something happen. TB, meanwhile, pound 6,000 gold. Aegis will expire in a couple of minutes. I mean, they've shown that once you take out Miracle once, it's not hard to take him out a second time. But
Well,
it's
it
getting through
took
that
them
first life.
forever.
Well, now that they have a little bit of True Strike on them.
Yeah, for sure. But I can't tell you how much easier this is going to make PL's life. Like, he couldn't fight into the PL the TB at all before, but he's even going BKB next, which I think is pretty good. I think it's better than the Satanic. Like, he needs the magic immunity up against like this Darkseer Shaker, and even the Void Spirit as well.
Regeneration!
So things kind of slow down for a little bit.
We have been blessed with good games today.
Oh,
huh?
yeah. It's been a fun day.
That's been really nice. Like, I felt bad for Zyra and Trent earlier on, like 2-2-0s that didn't really feel like get series at all, right? Like,
under attack.
they just ended so quickly, and then all of a sudden we get these amazing games. Like, sorry guys.
Better luck next time. But this is sorry, you know? They're gonna get great games tomorrow. You just know it. It's the way this region works. We just got blessed today. Some days you get blessed
Who
by
knew-
RNGesus, some days you get blessed by the game gods.
Yeah. Who knew PLTB was going to go late? Huh. That's a shock to absolutely nobody.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
All right, let's do another Twitch chat update, guys. Come on.
All right.
1 if you think Nigma are going to win. 2 if you think FlyToMoon are going to win.
and 3 if you think we're trash. Just had to add that one.
No.
I feel like there were a couple 3s in that last vote, and we didn't even ask for it. So now I feel like if now we've asked for it, they're justified. They're justified.
I'm spelling
Radiant's
3 in the
top
chat,
tower
dude.
is under attack.
All right.
I'm gonna make all my second accounts.
Radiant's top
Get
tower.
in there.
Oh,
They
swap fissure. They got the remnant away. Ice Path comes in, locks up GH, and well, they'll use the RP. They'll get the skewer back.
Oh,
Not
no.
work out though for them. The Lotus Orb sends the magic missile back at RMN. Fist, Searing Chains hits on TB. Ice Path comes in, but it's actually a little bit short of Miracle. They'll use the Shivas. They'll jump in forward. The Astral Step. They look and find the Yules on a V-Tune. V-Tune needs to be careful. Aether Remnant down with the
They
BKB
need
pop
to
by
drop the
Weeha.
Willows
Echo
right now.
Slam comes in. Down goes LeBron, Dota, and V-Tune low. V-Tune in trouble. Willis can only do so much. They need to get the Phantom Lancer out of here. The skewer back from Iceberg. Iceberg's probably going to try and give up his life, or maybe even TP out with the Willis. No, he doesn't get it off. The last second,
V-Tune's
they
still
get
in
the
trouble.
kill. V-Tune on the run. He is trying to get away from RMN. The Lone Venge. Can he do it?
Dire's bottom barracks.
Could you
are under
imagine?
attack. Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Just screaming for Kuro at his monitor as he tries to throw the stun out onto the PL.
Dire's structures
I mean, yeah, a
are
really good fight there. I don't know why the Will-O-Wisp came out so late, though, from Aloha Dance. I feel like if they dropped that earlier, like they might be able to just keep their PL alive, but amazing Echo Slam by
Dire's middle
GH.
tower has
Just
fallen.
absolutely destroys the PL with the TV damage coming through.
Barracks are under attack.
Now they're going to try and fight.
He's just
V2,
dead.
He's just gone. BKB and a GG, that's for sure. Divine Rapier into the hands of Miracle, and just like that, they keep him alive, but then he ends up falling. And a split second later, not only do I crash, but so do the chances of FlyToMoon winning that game.
I really would have liked to have seen PL pick up this MKB before he went for his own butterfly. I think not having that true strike for like such a long time really hurt him. And eventually he gets to this late game and then like TB's just 6-slide. And unfortunately with all this like supporting cast of the Earthshaker and the Darkseer behind him, I think he just 3-4 shot the PL. Like I think he got 3 crits in a row. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, he went from like 100 to 0 very fast. And Miracle ended that game top of the net worth by like 20k. Obviously, you got a
He
Divine
stole the
Rapier at the
Rapier, though,
end.
right?
But, I mean, minus 6,000 net worth, he's still up by 14. He's
Yeah, but then
very
you have to
far
add,
ahead.
you have to add 6 to the PL, right, as well.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. Guess there's a bit of a difference there. It's not as much as I thought it was. But, again, Miracle plays that game really well. Off a lane that didn't exactly go, too swell. But it's another one of those TV games where it's like you're shutting him down early and then you let him have this space enough to bring the game back. And it was Nigma doing really well, too, getting those pickoffs throughout the mid-game.
I think they really struggled to push their advantage, didn't they? Like, they were lacking that direction, that someone pushing them and telling them what to do. This Shakira, I think, missed a few ice paths as well that were really key. That he was like just about missing them. It wasn't very close. It was close, but it was just enough so that the ice paths didn't land. And I thought the execution from Nigma was just so much better in a lot of these team fights. So yeah, you can tell they're playing with somebody that they know in RMN, and a lot of their tempo controllers and a lot of the shot callers I imagine from Nigma are still there. Like Weeha, when he's playing around on this voice threat and stuff, I'm sure he's shouting out a lot what to do still. But yeah, well played by Nigma. I think well deserved. They played better than FlyToMoon for a lot of this game, like in terms of their execution and things. But yeah, I hope Always Wanna Fly can come back and play this second game. I don't know what the situation is, but they're missing their captain.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes next from FlyToMoon, if they can even up the series at 1 or if Nigma is going to make the entire day 2-0s. Either way, I think these two series have been pretty fun, so we'll be back with the next game in just a moment. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
am the goddess.
The team.
You needed a better.
Void infusion.
What surge is this?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I restore my connection.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
What is a flame?
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under
Timbers. Be and snap. The hearth
Dire's top tower is under attack.
agents of the sword.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
All right, and welcome back to more OGA Dota Pit action for the UCIS region. Got ourselves game 2 between Nigma as well as FlyToMoon, and well, Nigma are up 1-0. It looked as though FlyToMoon had their their foot on the pedal, their foot on the jugular, but failed to execute at the end, and it felt like, like you said at the end of the game, Mo, that they didn't really succeed in playing their advantage. There were definitely times where it felt like they were way more ahead than the net worth would lead you to believe, and they just didn't find that finish, didn't find that next move to really go in and just not end the game, but extend their advantage and then work towards ending the game.
Yeah, but hopefully that'll get at least ironed out a little bit here, because Always Wanna Fly is back. They have got their captain with them. They've got their drafter now. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we will see a little bit of an improvement in that kind of side of their gameplay, right? With their execution, their shot calling, whatnot. For Nigma, though, they've got to be feeling happy that they won that game. Like, they were under pressure a lot that game. It was up to them to make the right executions in the fight with the the Vax into the Echo Slams and whatnot as well. Mm-hmm. And an absolute shock to nobody that FlyToMoon take Ember first again. Like you said, though, they were unbeaten on that with this patch, but Nigma managed to take the game off them.
Yeah, that's gone, and that 100% win rate is gone. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go to the Coddle here as their second pick anyway. I wonder if Nigma maybe think about pick banning it, or I think you know what I mean.
I think they'll consider just taking the Venge again, though, as well. Honestly,
yeah.
Like, I think this TB that they do is like a Miracle plays that hero so well, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and Avenge is just a good, but they might just decide to go down a different route. But I can see them doing the same thing again, like both teams having the same opening. And it's like we've talked about before. Ever since they changed this pick banning order and stuff, mm-hmm. So you only get 2 bans now at the start. You're more likely to see the same opening happen again and more often, I think.
So they go to something a little bit different this time. They go to the Phoenix. They could still go Venge 5. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Phoenix Venge, not a bad support duo.
I wonder if they consider taking the mag with the Phoenix though, mm-hmm. instead, like afterwards.
Because that's a good combo. That or like the Mars, something that gives you that ability to make sure that the egg goes off. Even like a Faceless Void, which we've seen combo with that Phoenix before.
The thing with the mag and like something like the Axe though as well is that they go through BKB, so where things like the Mars and the Centaur are usually pretty good. It's also like if they buy BKB on the enemy carry, like a lot of the carry heroes that are good against egg have they buy BKBs or like Jug has spin, for example. Mm-hmm. The BKB piercing side is really strong with the egg. I do wonder what they go for here. And the other problem with FlyToMoon's opening against this Phoenix as well is that they don't have neither of their heroes hits the egg, right? Mm-hmm. It could be a little bit difficult.
And there is that Bat Rider for Nigma, which I spoke about in the previous game that they had played so well through 7.26. Upwards of a 92% win rate. Obviously, win rates when the patch changes kind of don't mean anything, but at the same time, when you play to that kind of level with a hero, they still kind of do, and they play this hero really well.
And the most important thing here is that they know it's going to have at least one good lane, because it lanes really well up against the Ember. Mm-hmm. So this hero is so flexible with where it can go. Weeha plays it mid a lot of the time. They can play it in either of the side lanes if they wanted to. So no matter what happens, the Bat Rider is going to have at least one good matchup he could get. So that's the most important thing here. But like you said, they also just play it really well.
Yeah.
They play around it really well, like the catch and the aggressive potential that it can play off on the map. Really good. And again, we talked about it. It's a BKB piercing disable to protect the egg in a way. Like, you don't have to use that lasso aggressively necessarily. Like, you can use it to protect the egg as well.
I wonder if they ban like Abaddon or Legion and Omni Knight. I know Omni Knight's found a lot of presence in lineups. Also with this Ember, where is it going to be? Because it was played in the offlane last game.
I think you have to play it offlane now, though, because of this Bat Rider. Like, I don't think you can play it mid anymore, because Bat Rider absolutely destroys that lane. It's not fun for Ember at all. He really struggles. It's like you have Flame Guard and it's like, oh yes, I can keep myself alive for like an extra 2 seconds. That's great.
So this time getting rid of the Magnus. And we'll see what they go for with their next 2 bans here for Nigma and the last ban for FlyToMoon. Looking forward in the Nigma draft, what are they looking at with this Bat Phoenix? They still need a 5 potentially, unless all of a sudden, FlyToMoon do get that strong Dispel. Sometimes we see Bat Riders move to a 5. And I don't actually know how RMN plays that hero.
Yeah, I think cheap stuns are really nice up against Ember. Like point-click stuns. We've seen things like Shaman in the past in China. But like any... I think Undying taken out is fine as well. Like we've seen the rise of that hero recently in the recent patch. I think something like Bane is really good as well. I don't mind that. But like any kind of like babysit hero support, babysit support hero, sorry, would be fine with me. I think they need to address how they want to deal with this on FlyToMoon, though, like how they want to deal with the Bat Rider. I mean, do they want to pick like some kind of Oracle as like save to the lasso? But I feel like they need something that does okay against it in lane as well. So you're looking at things like Slark, maybe Jug, and then try and match up that hero up against the Bat Rider wherever it goes. Yeah, and
there's more BKB piercing lockdown. Control here, good lane presence with the Bane. I really like it from Nigma, honestly.
I'm gonna quote what Trent said earlier as well, that Bane is I think it's the highest win rate support hero in Immortal pubs at the moment, he was saying, which is I think it was just under 55%, I think he said.
Wow.
So I'll trust him. I trust he's telling the truth.
I would trust Trent too. I feel like he's like the encyclopedia when it comes to those kind of things. You know what I mean? Like he always is right on the money with everything he says.
Watches lots of replays.
Yeah.
Should go and find his Twitch
watch his stream. Yeah. I watch his stream all the time, and I'm just like, I sit there and just kind of like listen, because it's nice to just kind of sit back and listen to something like that and learn from it. So if you guys get a chance,
they seem to be really seem to be really struggling on FlyToMoon to decide what they want to do about this Bat Rider. Like they need a mid laner that can possibly stand up against it as well, because you have to assume it's going to be Weeha playing mid battle, right? And okay, they go back for the Jakiro again, but I don't know how much this is going to do.
Yeah, they go for the...
Obviously, it worked okay last game. Do you remember they had that really good fight around the Radiant bot outpost, where they took that like Will-O-Wisp into Ice Path and they just blew the Ember up and stuff, and it was like, and it is always on a fly playing the Jakiro now instead of who was it that played last game? What's his name? LeBron.
There you go.
Yeah, I found it. I remembered.
Let you get to that.
And I feel like, when you guys are used to playing together more as a team, it's always going to help. I wonder, what do they pick here now? Like, they probably want to pick their carry here and not give away whether the Bat Rider is going to be 2 or 3, because they have last pick overall in the draft, right? So they're probably looking at this thinking, okay, well, what carry heroes do we like here? Like, TB's still in the pool, but I feel like with the Venge might not be as great. Ursa's in the pool if they want to go for that. Void, okay. And they have, that's the hero that protects the egg, though, as well, right? They have Void Phoenix now.
And that was the Void that I talked about earlier, too.
Yeah?
Being that combination. Like, that could really be a problem.
See, now they have to pick something that deals with the Void and deals with the Bat Rider. Where something like Jug is not a good matchup now, right? And I honestly don't know what their solution is. I'm really struggling to think of heroes that can do both. Because like this second banning phase is the problem, like because they ban Lina, which is okay because you can keep your distance, and Queen of Pain can obviously just blink away. But with both those heroes being taken out, I think they're in a really difficult position.
Slark gets picked up here for the one position of FlyToMoon.
Like it's
Ember
okay.
could still be a mid, right?
It's okay. I just don't think it's amazing. And the thing is, Nigma can wait to see the last pick of the draft overall. FlyToMoon's draft, sorry, before they pick their last hero. So they now, if they think, I think FlyToMoon are probably going to match up the Slark against the Batrider lane if they can. But like then you're putting the Slark mid, and you're going to put your mid hero safe lane potentially. I think Ember has to play off lane though, no matter what. Like, because it doesn't look like an easy Ember game at all playing against Batrider and Void. Like Batrider in lane is difficult to deal with. Void with the Chrono later on can be really difficult to play against as well, right? So the pounce is pretty nice against Void though. Like stops him jumping away. Obviously, you have the Dark Pact where if you get it off just before he uses Fiend's Grip, it takes that off as well. It's good. Same against Lasso.
Yeah. So banning the puck, getting rid of that control, getting rid of that silence, something they need to make sure that isn't there when you've got the Faceless Void. If you get silence, like you can all of a sudden be in way too much trouble. I wonder if I guess it's not really worth it to go like Ember mid Night Stalker. Like I just see that Night Stalker game from OG, and all of a sudden I think to myself like, this could be pretty good in the off lane.
I'm trying to think of other heroes that they would like in the off lane for Nigma. Maybe like Nature's Prophet or something would be okay. Or like they do ban the Night Stalker. Maybe like I think I'd like to see them pick something that scales a little bit better. So like they're not so reliant on this Void because Batrider falls off generally as the game goes on. So I'd like something that going into the late game can like give that Void like a semi carry, right? Which is why the Nature's Prophet comes into my mind.
And they go Pangolier, so that could be a mid Pangolier still. Ember could go mid, Pango could go mid. They did ban the Night Stalker on Nigma though, so they did see that OG game, and maybe they heard me.
God, dude, it's a really good Bloodseeker game.
Yeah, but is he your mid here?
I mean, I'm sure Mind Control can play every single hero in the game. That guy's crazy good. He's insane. I mean, they could just put the Batrider as the 3 then, and then just put like... The problem is I think they need something that lanes better up against the Slark. And I don't think Bloodseeker's the answer to that like direct thing.
We don't really see Bloodseeker all too much at the moment, but I'd
like
be interested
as well. Yeah, that's
okay.
Okay.
So Prophet off lane.
I would assume so. Yeah. Unless they decide to put Prophet 4 for some reason, but yeah, I mean, Mind Control loves his Prophet, doesn't he? Like, he's probably one of the best in the world, if not the best.
And then
it's difficult to call.
Iceberg will play the mid Ember.
Wow, that's going to be so difficult for him. I wonder if V2 moves mid to the Slark, though. And they put the Ember in the safe lane with the Keeper of the Light or something instead, right? That would make more sense to me. But I don't think Slark does amazingly against Batrider in the laning stage. Like, it's still not easy for him.
Did V2 ever play mid? Or has he just been a 1 his entire career?
Unsure. Good question.
Just because I'm wondering about making that move where you move him mid. Some people would just may not be comfortable with that.
I think you have to be comfortable though with this level of play to get the right lane matchups, right? Like we've seen Mind Control go mid before on things like a Nigma and stuff. Like if you're not willing to make that swap, then you're going to already put yourself at a disadvantage. If Iceberg decides he wants to play mid against the Batrider, I'll be so surprised. That lane sounds horrible. But then, like, it could even be that Nigma decide to swap up as well, and when they see the Slark mid, they'll put the Nature's Prophet there. And then they'll put the Batrider in one of the side lanes up against the Pangolier or the Ember instead.
Are you surprised that they went to the Pangolier, not something like a Legion or an Omni or something like that, an Abaddon?
I think the Pangolier is really good because it allows them... This disarm is so good up against Void, right? And it's really good up against Nature's Prophet now as well. Like, it gives them a little bit more team fight with the Rolling Thunder, which is nice. And I think Pango is one of General's best heroes. So You stick to what you know, kind of.
Yeah.
But it should be a good game though. I'm looking forward to this. I think the team fight from I think this Chrono egg, it's all about that this game for me, like in these big team fights. Because they've got Chrono up against Slark, right? And there's no save on the
Prepare
Radiant
for
side.
battle.
Like when Void pops BKB and he pops Chrono, there's nothing they can do. Which I think is going to be the big difference maker for me. Slark's actually moving to the safe lane. Wow. I hope Iceberg proves me wrong here and like absolutely goes crazy, and owns the mid lane. But I can't see it happening.
It definitely feels like it's going to be tough. Batrider, one of those heroes that can play aggressively in a 2v2, and in a 1v1, he feels like an even better hero in that situation.
I mean, certain 1v1s he feels really good in, and I think this is one of them.
30 seconds to battle.
As long as he can sustain his mana, which he's picked up 2 Sage's Masks to start, I think he's in a good spot. 2.3 mana regen to start right now feels really good.
Me and Nomad used to have this theory that Iceberg played much better when he was playing from behind, though. So maybe if he has a bad start in this game, he'll turn out to be insanely good this game. That's the thought process.
Fair enough.
Because when he was playing from ahead, he always used to throw all the time. And when he played from behind, he looked really good. Nigma get 3 runes again. Same as last game.
So let's see how this goes. I mean, I'm expecting a lot here from Weeha in this mid lane. We hype it up so much, and God forbid he just doesn't give us anything. I'd be pretty upset. That's for sure.
At least for Weeha, though, he started with... Iceberg, he started with Stick, right? So, I mean, obviously, as you would, but... I think it's going to get really difficult when he gets like this level 3 mark or so. Like, Iceberg's got 8 stacks on him now, right? Like, look how much damage he's taking.
Yeah. Nine stacks. What do? You sit back and wait.
V-Tune bot lane as well is really struggling.
Mind control. I just looking at this Nature's Prophet, I worry about what FlyToMoon are going to bring to the table. Just expecting just a lot of rotations coming in from mind control. How effective he can be on this Nature's Prophet. You'll have eventually Blink initiation for the Batrider, Time Walk initiation from Miracle. Do you expect, like, I don't expect things to get that hard for Nigma, especially if they have a good early game.
Yeah, it's difficult to see how they're definitely going to be able to, like, how are they ever troubled, right? Like, I think General has to have a really good game on this Pangolier, like, make some really good rotations around the map.
Now for the old razzle dazzle.
V2.
Like, they have
just 6 and 1.
There's one more
Dire's
salve down in this
turret
bot lane now.
has been killed.
And always Wonderfly's going to use it on himself, because otherwise he has no other regen to be in this lane, right?
Yeah.
And Slark's just really struggling. They do manage to get the courier up in the top lane though, which is really nice.
I'm not sure it's going to get any easier for him. Meanwhile, over mid, the Ember sitting at 11 and 1. I'm actually quite pleased with how well the Ember is doing, despite how hard this lane is.
Like, these early stages of the game are the best part for him. Like, it only gets harder afterwards. I'm really surprised he hasn't put more points in Flame Guard. I'm losing my words. Just so he can help farm the jungle, because I don't think he can stay in the lane much longer.
Bane getting low. RMN needs to be a little bit careful.
Mid lane as well.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Oh.
Going under this tower. Iceberg. 7 stacks of sticky napalm. God, it just, where are you going to go from this? And you're hoping that your support can help you out.
Yes,
but 10 full stacks? You can see the damage it forces him away. It forces him back to base.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, you get the TP from the Keeper of the Light as well, so now the Miracle up in the top lane feels a lot more safe. Like, our men can just come over and bully. He actually took Enfeeble at level 2. What? Why?
Why not?
Okay, fair enough. I don't know.
There you go. You know, why?
I don't think
why
I've
not?
ever seen that before. They really want this 4-minute rune on Weeha here. But, he just doesn't think he can contest the Ember. Again, I'm just losing my words today.
Sometimes they come, sometimes they go. But Slark, VTune going down first blood. GH grabbing that one. I mean, it's not going well for VTune, and it's just going to go from bad to worse.
I mean, he has 13 denies on mind control. Obviously, like, a lot of them are probably going to be trees, but even so.
Like, even if it's just the treants, though, like, that's still denying the farm of those treants.
Yeah, for sure. Like, look at Miracle's CS up in this top lane. He's completely uncontested, right? Oh my god, the status of resistance reduction for the bash! Dude, that's so smart.
As general,
That's why
one more
he levels
bash.
the...
Doesn't. Oh, there it is. Right at the end. I wasn't sure if he even needed it, too.
That's... Dude, RMN's got a massive brain, actually.
Time is money.
That's why he's the coach, man.
Are they getting 4 runes here? They are.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my god.
And they leave
I mean,
it.
that's...
They leave it for the bottle for Weeha, potentially.
Yeah.
30-4 for Miracle. He is so... Like, even if it's just the treants, though, like, that's still denying the farm of those
Yeah, for sure.
treants.
Like, look at Miracle's CS up in this top lane. He's completely uncontested, right? Oh my god, the status of resistance reduction for the bash! Dude, that's so smart.
As
That's
general,
why he
one more
levels
bash? Oh, doesn't... Oh, there it is. Right at the end. I wasn't sure if he even needed it, too.
That's... Dude, RMN's got a massive brain, actually.
Time is money.
That's why he's the coach,
Are
man.
they getting 4 runes here? They are. Oh my god.
And they
I mean,
leave it... They leave it for the bottle for Weeha, potentially.
Yeah.
30-4 for Miracle. He is so far ahead. GH might want to be a little bit careful in this, though.
I mean, they have a 2k net worth advantage after 5 minutes.
Yeah, for those 4 battle runes are massive.
That's pretty crazy.
Never refuse gold given.
Liquid fire action. Sprout comes in from mind control. But the pounce leashes. The question is it enough? And it certainly is when Iceberg comes around. They get mind control, but this also just leaves Batrider to his own accord over mid.
Yeah, but I think Iceberg can't be there anyway, right? So, like, the fact he's making rotations and making things happen is really good. And he's going to get the 6-minute rune here and the illusion rune as well. So next time Ember chains him, if he pops the illusion rune, he can instantly take that off. Because it now offers the purge. Which is really good. And now he has boots as well, so I think Iceberg has to be a little bit careful here with Weeha being level 6.
Does he go boots travel first?
Most Bat Riders do, but he might feel like he needs to blink up against the Slark and the Ember to like find the kills with the instant initiation. But if he feels like they can be a little bit more greedy potentially, then he can go for the bots. I like this rotation from mind control though at the mid lane. Like with this catapult wave that they have mid on Nigma, they want to try and make something happen here. At least like get a lot of damage on this tier 1.
Yeah, even if they don't get the kill on Iceberg and he can't defend this tier 1 tower, they'd be happy with that. As long as they keep this catapult alive, they can continue to put the pressure onto this tower. And, you know, it forces out the glyph. But over towards top, they're going to try and go in onto General and Aloha Dance. It's actually going the other way. I thought General was going after Miracle and RMN, but they've got a Nightmare. The right-click damage, one more shot. Aloha Dance will end up dead. And this is all while over. They're going to continue to put the pressure on. The lasso hits onto the Jakiro. The Ice Path misses. The right click's coming through as well as the burn for the Firefly. Weeha gets the kill on Always on a Fly. And this tier 1's almost dead. They're spawning.
This is good though from FlyToMoon because if the Phoenix doesn't come over there, then There's no way they get the kill.
Oh,
I think-
boy. Mind control?
Radiant's
Sorry, not
okay.
the-
tower is
It's got that wand. 5 stacks, 6 stacks of sticky napalm, flame break, remnant. But where are you going? Now 7 stacks, another remnant used, but all they need is one more shot. With 8 stacks of sticky napalm, iceberg burns out and melts.
And all in the meantime, still, Miracle just farming the top lane. Go for that Midas first. Pretty standard at the moment on the Void, for this patch at least.
Midas game. It's back.
The thing is, it's not just the effect though. Like, he loves the attack speed as well, right, on the Void, so Midas just makes sense.
Look at how that kill on Iceberg, though, forces the supports to come mid. It forces both supports mid.
They have to defend their mid 2-1 though. Look at V-Tune, actually.
Look at GH.
Dead?
Whoa! God, could you imagine? Mind Control does end up dying over mid. But could you just imagine if GH solo kills V-Tune right there?
I mean, Miracle just TP mid, but I'm really surprised he didn't TP bot to try and play up with the Phoenix egg before. Because if you pop the Chrono on the Slark, he definitely dies, right?
Yeah. And they're going to rotate everybody over towards mid. They look over at Weeha, swashbuckle, and now the Searing Chain. So Weeha will die, and this is just playing too far forward. In the BM pause. Granted, it's probably a real pause.
I just worry that they're going to get to this point in the game where they realize there's a Void. And they're like, oh, what do we do? The thing for them, at least Mind Control's not having a great time, right, on this Nature's Prophet. They have managed to get this tier 1 mid really low, which is great. But Mind Control's have to suffer a lot in his farm potential this game. And he's TPing down to the bot lane at the moment to at least try and get his level 6 online. Oh no. Please no DC.
Please, come
But like,
back.
Void, I mean, Void's 1,000 gold ahead of the Slark, right?
Yeah.
It's not a small amount.
This is the thing, like FlyToMoon, I think if they take advantage of their last game, probably come into this way more level-headed. I'm not saying that they're tilted or anything, but they certainly could have been pushing a 1-0 lead in the last one. And so now, like, you know, you were dealing with a stand-in, you come back to your roster, like, where are you mentally? It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
I wonder... Oh, GH has got a Meteor Hammer queued up. That's cool. I wonder why...
From the egg.
Is that really the best item he could buy? Is something like Atos not just better? Or like Halberd against the Slark?
Alright, guys, we're in a big pause right now. I just want to say 1 for FlyToMoon, 2 for Team Nigma, 3 for Bring Back the Previous Casting Duo, 4 for
Mofar needs to shave.
Mofar needs to shave, and 5, why does B-Cop's natural face look like he's stoned? The amount of those messages I've seen in chat today is kind of wild, but that's how I look all the time.
Maybe you are stoned. Maybe that's the problem. You don't even realize.
High on life, guys.
Yeah.
And Dota. And EU CIS Dota. It's what you guys don't recognize.
I mean, I'm not surprised we've had so many people turn out today, though, right? Like, I've been missing this a lot.
Yeah.
We had that massive run of tournaments in a row where there was like constant EU games and stuff on all the time, and it got really tiring. But then when it disappears, you don't realize how much you miss it until it's gone, right? Like,
Yeah, everybody needed their fix.
it's been so good to see it back again today. And like I said before, you know, everybody thinks they understand the patch, and then the EU teams start doing something different, and you're like, oh, maybe we should do that.
And it leaks over to other regions. It's always cool when you're like the first to see something like that. I think like one of the things I think of is like the IG courier over Roche Pit.
Yeah.
And then now everybody does that.
But those kind of things happen first in pubs most of the time, right? Like,
Yeah. Just wish we
it's just
saw
cool
them
to
all
see
the
it in
time.
programs. Microsoft's just spamming his teleport on and off again. Okay. He's mad. They want this mid tier 1 though.
Radiant's middle
They
tower
should be able to get it here. Nice.
Radiant's middle tower has
And no
fallen.
deny either. So they get themselves the tier 1 tower over mid. That'll open up the map, allow Nigma to continue to put the pressure on, which they've already been doing, you know, regardless of the fact that they had that, you know, the tier 1 tower was up. So it's just going to get worse here for FlyToMoon, where you can see that they're able to push away this Ember
Jakiro.
Spirit. So now Jakiro always want to fly. He'll try to TP out. They do have Fiend's Grip. If they choose to use it, they will. And down goes always want to fly.
You could tell
And GH is a cool guy, doesn't look at his kills and just walks away as he knows he's going to get it.
I was really unsure whether he should grip for the Shakira there. He's like, do I want to do it?
Did wait a long time, and now Aloha Dance gets the kill onto Weeha. So maybe a little bit of overconfidence coming from him.
He's got 2 deaths now on the Battle Rider.
Oof, mind control goes down too. This Rolling Thunder has really done wonders for them. The Sunray wasn't going to be enough from GH. GH sitting a little bit low on health. He'll go after General. Nobody else is here for the side of Nigma, as they've got Miracle just continuing to farm up bottom. Ooh, Swashbuckle.
Structures are fortified.
5 seconds for the next one.
Yeah, with that chakra magic, that's disgusting.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lasso, though,
Lasso. But the Swashbuckle again.
Is this
Look at
good?
that damage. Weeha's just continuing to die here. But Aloha Dance, Flame Break back into the Supernova. So, yeah, no way of getting out of that one.
Look at this Prophet TPing bot lane, though.
Always want to fly. In some trouble. Ice Path comes in, locks up Miracle. Now the TPs follow through. Miracle needs to be careful. Pops the Chrono. That'll
Good
get the TP
disarm.
to stop, but they've got the disarm from the Swashbuckle. Still Miracle trying to get the kill. And always want to find the Wrath of Nature will finish him off. There's a lot here for Mind Control. He's got an extra 16 damage. General, how much can you do in this spot as you've now been bashed up once? Looking for the Rolling Thunder. That hits onto Mind Control. Back and forth you go to take out this Nature's Prophet. Miracle forced to time walk away, but the Swashbuckle is there, not the disarm. But the right click, that comes in following the Swashbuckle, does get the disarm onto Miracle, and he continues to just walk it out.
Radiant structures.
Yeah, I mean,
are fortified.
I love seeing when Nigma they play games like this, because GH is just second in net worth for his team because he's just been pushing lanes out and stuff all the time. Like, just crazy. I like that they just use the Chrono to get a kill, though. Like, get what you can. Unfortunately, Mind Control dies, but I mean, General played that really well. He, like, played them in to make them think that they could go on him, and then all of a sudden he pops the ult, right? Like, that feels really good. And Void's still just farming away.
Yeah, Void's just continuing to sit top of the net worth. I will say, though, V-Tune's recovered pretty well. He's got this Midas, and he's only sitting about 1,000 behind this Void.
He's committing for this Meteor Hammer, by the way, on the Phoenix.
He's going to land
Interesting.
something wild. You're going to see it. You're going to be like, Meteor Hammer, just like the Spectre.
Yeah.
It's a new thing.
Top lane, though, he's in trouble.
Fiend's Grip, though, over mid, onto the Ember, though. They'll get the kill here onto Iceberg, back towards top. They're going to chase under the tier 1 tower to look for a GH,
Oh
but
my
the Sunray, I will leave the map. Not broken, definitely not broken. Into a Supernova right there, are you kidding me? That's not fair. That's not
He
fair.
went to the next game over and then came back again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
How is that even balanced? Aloha Dance now getting burned out by Sunray. What was that attack range? Bash comes in. Aloha Dance is dead. 3 heroes gone on FlyToMoon. And Nigma styling.
I thought he'd TP away, and then I clicked on him and his TP wasn't on cooldown. I was like, oh, when's he coming back down? And yeah, then all of a sudden the egg just drops.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh my god. It's just not right. No, he doesn't at all. Sleight of Fist searing chains onto Weeha again. Swashbuckle and the Rolling Thunder. It does hit. Sunray won't be enough to keep him alive, so they get the kill on a Weeha for now the 3rd time. That they'll get the Bane too.
Void's on the high ground here, though. He has Chrono.
They need to be careful. They're kind of grouping up a little bit. Now the Chrono comes in just on the edge. But the
chains,
Will-O-Wisp
though.
is there, and that's great job from Aloha Dance to land that Will-O-Wisp and make sure that that Chrono is basically just, you know, to keep them static for a second.
They want Miracle, though. They've got the chains here.
Yeah, he's in
He's just
trouble.
committed
Ice
the
Path to
Time
follow
Walk.
it up, and Time Walk's off cooldown. He gets the kill on a General, just continuing a man fight, but at the end of the day, he still ends up going down. Iceberg gets credit for that kill. Aloha Dance might burn out to GH, but he pops the salve, survives, and runs. Always want to fly, though. Might not be so lucky. There's the Sprout. There's the damage. There's the kill. Mind Control gets that one. GH coming over. Aloha Dance is in trouble, and GH gets a dominating spree. 4-0-4.
Dude, Jakira gets the D ward, though, while he's in Sprout. That's the big brain play. That was great. Yeah, really well played by Iceberg, though, to sit on the hill there, so that when the Void jumped up, he just had the change to go again. Just catch him off guard. But unfortunately, they're falling further and further behind, and it's mostly in the support gold at the moment. Like, the big thing here is that look at GH's gold difference to the Keeper of the Light on a Aloha Dance. Like, there's a 3,000 difference, right?
Look at GH's gold in comparison to Iceberg.
I know. He's loving life.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen him play Keeper of the Light and do this a lot before, but I don't think I've ever seen him do it on Phoenix.
From blaze to inferno.
That is impressive from GH, and he's now gone from Yule's queued up to Shiva's instead.
I'm going to come back to this point, though, that at some point in this game, Miracle's going to have a BKB, and he's going to press it, and then they can't do anything. Like, he's going to pop BKB in his Chronosphere and just kill somebody. And if he can find the Slark or the Ember, I think that's the fight. Like, maybe even Pangolier is probably more important, but...
Ooh, Fiend's Grip. Right. With the Flame Break, Icarus dive over. And, yeah, all right. Meteor Hammer was, there was an attempt.
I respect that. He's almost level 12 on the Phoenix, so he kind of wants to hold off on the egg until he hits that.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so going for that Meteor Hammer is certainly worth.
Or in my case, you miss 100% of the ones you do take.
Yeah. I mean,
GH in trouble
could
there.
how it be. Is he gonna Supernova? No.
Actually,
Hold it.
oh, his dive was on cooldown. Okay. He has Orchid now, Mind Control, by the way, so... Oh, they wanted to get Iceberg with the reveal, but couldn't manage it, unfortunately.
Warriors of the wood.
A 5k lead here. Chronosphere back up.
Why
See
is
what-
Slar going Silverish first? I really don't know about this build. Like,
I see a
seen
lot
so
of
many people
Slarks do it, and
Yeah.
I don't like it.
We talked about it before. Like, it's not a bad item, but I feel like it's diffusal or something really good this game up against the Void, or like some survivability item up against the Chrono. Like, I guess bad for that though. Like, it helps you find the right initiations and things. Like maybe on the backline if you can find the bait or whatnot. The break's okay against Void as well. It stops him from bashing, I think, or I assume so at least.
Orchid used, made it looking over. Mind Control is in far. Sunray's going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Macropyre is down though, so eventually Mind Control will die. Miracle now walking forward. He does have Chronosphere available. Question is, does he find the spot to use it in conjunction with that Supernova?
I will say FlyToMoon are playing much better than I thought they would, though. Not playing, but like they're not as far behind as I thought they would be at this point in the game. Like they've managed to kind of like plateau the net worth graph almost,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
and they're doing pretty well.
Ooh, up top, Lasso, Silence, V-Tune, gone. Weehaw gets the kill there.
And that's the biggest kill on the map you can find right now, right? Like the Void or the Slark are the two huge ones. The fact they get in there is massive. And unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a way of purging off the Orchid, right? So if they find an instant initiation with the Lasso or with the Orchid, can't take it off unless he's already Dark Pacting.
You use that Fiend's Grip into the Lasso. It's a good setup.
Fiend's Whip as well is the
General?
same.
Supernova. General comes back over and very close to dying, but there's the Will with Mind Control in trouble.
Orchid,
Is
though.
the Sunray enough? It looks like it might be, but the slight
Maelstrom proc.
will get the kill with the Maelstrom proc.
Man, what a gamer. My control's been so like sad this game. He's 2, 6, and 7. Like he's getting picked off over and over again. They always want to fly coming in a sec, I assume. Yeah, they see him.
Always want to fly. Gets found out. So does Aloha Dance. So it should be a
Dire's middle tower
kills here on some supports, and it will be.
But look at the call net worths in this game now, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
the Batrider and the Nature's Prophet have really struggled to like find their farm this game. So it's actually just the Void that's like really farmed, along with the Slark. But on the Dire side, I mean, the main difference in gold here comes from that position 4.
Mid Nightmare onto the Ember. Now they've got the Orchid and the damage. Oh my god, the damage coming in from Miracle.
tower is under attack.
Jesus. Was it even just Miracle who threw out that? Yeah. Okay, so Miracle does a bulk of that damage, but when you've got everybody there too, it is problematic. General with the Rolling Thunder, Mind Control in some trouble. The Pounce doesn't leech. They've got the Orchid out onto the Sark. Can they turn this around? The Flame Break hits the Swashbuckles there. They've got the Disarm. One more shot will get the kill. But now the Lasso onto the Sark. However, nobody here to follow it up just yet. Oh, Miracle! Swing and a miss. You whiffed.
Really good reactions though from VTune as well.
Oh,
as we
yeah.
said.
It is baseball season once again. God damn. Still 5k net worth lead, but that certainly, like, again, we were just talking about the net worth and looking how these 3 cores from the side of FlyToMoon are coming back. Like, GH has kind of dropped off, Mind Control's dropped off. They're at about 7,700 themselves, but you've got the Sark getting a lot of farm. You've got Pango coming back into it. I would love to see Pango get a Blink Dagger. I'm such a big fan of that item on Pangolier. I really hope it comes after this.
It's
this Yules.
okay. I don't think it's what he needs this game though.
I think it just disrupts fights so well.
The Yules is really good for that as well, right? Because if you roll over somebody and Yules yourself, like you hit them again and again. Now the Yules is really good up against heroes like Batrider as well to stop them from pulling your lasso target away. Like it's really good if you can get it onto the Void as well.
Finding Light, Sunray's there. Sprout will block his exit.
He has the BKB now on Void as well, so his game's looking really good. I think it's like almost impossible for him to die anymore. I know I've said that before in other games, but like where's their stuns on Radiant's side? They need like Will-O-Wisp into Ice Path, into Will-O-Wisp again with an Abyssal on the Stark or something, right?
Ooh. BKB, pop by Miracle. Miracle doesn't have a Chronosphere for another 60 seconds. He'll go after VTune, the Sunray, burning him out with the Wrath of Nature. All of a sudden, a lot of damage being done here to VTune. They've got this Searing Chains out onto the Batrider, but now the Orchid, it's after the Pounce, so he's got some distance.
Get the grip
Supernova will be placed down. Fiend's Grip on the General, so they do get the kill into the Pangolier. They're probably going to continue. They get the Ice Path, but here comes Slark. VTune maybe in too far. He's got the Silver Edge. They get the kill into Weehaw. Sunray, not enough, but there's the Spirits. Is it burning out VTune? Can he get killed off with the Sprout and the Silence? He will. Aloha Dance is dead, but now they've got the Will-O-Wisp to worry about. Miracle low, Miracle in trouble. Down goes Miracle in RMN. Searing Chains out on a Mind Control. FlyToMoon without the Slark. Take yourself a fight here as Mind Control will die too as he's locked himself in a Sprout cage with Iceberg.
I'm so surprised they tried to like push that fight there after Void used his BKB in the first place. Like, because you don't have BKB on Void, they don't have Chrono either. So like, I can't believe they did as well as they did. Like the fact they killed the Slark without Chronosphere is really impressive. But boy, oh boy, still a costly fight.
Dire's middle tower is under
6k lead even despite that fight, but VTune did end up dying.
They're gonna have triple BKB up soon though on Nigma, which is huge. Like the Batrider's just picked one up for after that fight. Mind Control's almost finished his on the Nature's Prophet as well, only the recipe away. And I think now that they have the Chronosphere up again, they should look to try and make something happen again. Like maybe try and fight around the Roche pit, find a pick off, take the Roche for yourselves.
Dance just trying to farm up here as the Keeper of the Light. Meanwhile, Shiva's finished on Phoenix, going for a refresher. I thought maybe you'd go for like an axe, right?
Yeah, refresher is interesting.
Dire are
We've
scared.
never seen refresher before axe before, have we?
I don't think so.
Given.
Or at least it's not as common.
For sure, yeah.
Going over towards Roche. Nigma gonna try and get this first Aegis of the game.
Dire's bottom tower.
If Nigma
is
gets
under
this
attack.
Aegis as well on Void, then like Miracle can play as aggressive as he wants, basically, right? Like he can just jump in, not really care, because like we said, he can't really die in the BKB duration. Apparently he can die though, but it now means that he can just play really aggressively and not kind of care.
Dire's bottom tower is under
As
attack.
keep it up before he did have to, yeah, as shown.
Wait on a Miracle. Miracle, there's been a couple of times where he's just been called out. He's going into an MKB, finishing off the Mjolnir first. His BKB is 9 seconds.
Well, they see RMN on the Spain here.
Oh boy. Nightmare trying to survive, but that's still an issue. Pounce leashes and V-Tune with another. He's now got himself 5 permanent agility. He's going into the BKB. I think if Nigma give him enough time to get the BKB, that could be a big problem for them.
Do we... Oh, he's got Mjolnir coming out on Miracle. Okay, but I'd quite like to see them get a gem on somebody on the Dire side. Like, probably Bat Rider. I think if they can just control up the vision now around the map, would help them tremendously. And, you know, with this Slark having Silver Edge as well, kind of makes his game a lot harder.
I do absolutely love GH going from tower to tower with Icarus dive and throwing a meteor hammer on them.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They are pressuring the top tier 3 though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Icarus dive once again, meteor hammer coming through.
Dire's
But-
middle tower is
Yeah,
under
and they're knocking on the door and FlyToMoon aren't home.
tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now they've come back. They're at the door. They're looking through the
Oh, they
little
see the Slark
people.
mid. Why don't they grip him? Oh, did they? I think they didn't have detection, actually. Ah, okay.
Quickening charm. Who's gonna hold that? Bat Rider? Yeah.
Even Bane, to be honest. They're all fine.
Radiant's
Miracle's just
middle
continuing to
tower
keep the
is
creep
under
wave up on the tier 3 tower. He's got Chrono. He has the Aegis. Really not a lot of fear for him. Icarus dive once again. Ice Path coming through. Meteor Hammer is there. They've got the lasso onto the Jakiro. Side of his Searing Chains. That'll lock up this Bat Rider, but you don't want to commit too far. Miracle can just time walk and Chrono.
And Slark's still not here. Like, he has his TP up, but he's not coming back.
Ice Path, Macropyre, Illuminate. There goes the Aegis. So now you gotta be a little bit careful if you're Miracle. Swashbuckle misses. Time walk away from Miracle, but there's the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains once again. Miracle hit by the Ice Path. Illuminate once more. Doing a bit of damage, but just able to time walk that damage off.
Yeah, they have to respect how good they are at defending high ground. FlyToMoon, they have so much poke, right? With like Sleight of Fist, with Ice Path, with Illuminate coming through as well. Even Swashbuckle and stuff. General finds a telescope that's on the floor. Very nice. Of course it's on the floor. He found it, but... What's he buying here? Oh, he's gone Basher. Okay. So we talked about how when the Void pops BKB, it's really difficult for them to control him. At least they have kind of like an RNG answer now.
It's quite nice, actually.
As long as he's done his daily prayers to the RN Jesus, you should be okay.
Radiant's
Icarus dive. Shiva's once again. Meteor Hammer coming through into the tier 2 tower. V2 always want to fly. back right now with General closest to the tier 2 and the rest of Nigma.
This must be so annoying to play against.
How do you stop it? Seriously. Aloha Dance.
Take the outpost spot.
He got it. And all right. Bit of experience. They've got the woes down. Miracle in a little bit of trouble. He'll pop the BKB. He'll look for... Oh, Jesus God. The pump fakes multiple times. And now they've got the Fiend's Grip. The Chronosphere comes down to 2. V2 in a lot of trouble. There's the Blinding Light, but it's not going to help. Miracle gets the kill there on a V2. General's dead as well as always want to fly. 3 heroes gone without buyback, and all of a sudden the game falls apart. The pump fakes were enough. The Remnant forward from Iceberg, or the Remnant technically back from Iceberg. He's trying to leave, but they've got the clumsy net from Weeha. Remnant away once again. 4 staff back from Aloha Dance. It might have been what's enough to save his life.
And the fight looked really bad at first, right? Because they popped the BKB on Miracle really early and he couldn't find the chrono. But in the backline, they managed to get the grip onto the... Was it the Pangolier, I think? And then they just follow it with the lasso. And with General dead, they lose so much of their team fight and damage, and control on the Radiant side.
Top barracks has fallen.
So, unfortunately, the one back fight with the Chronosphere egg combination, and they lose a set of racks.
Yeah. And, you know, it's a good job by Miracle there to pump fake, make sure he doesn't give, you know, have another poor chrono.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah, but this is what I mean, though, right? Miracle's by himself, right? And he was BKB, but there's nothing they can do, even though he's by himself and really out of position. General has gone in here. They kind of want to fight while the cooldowns are still on.
They've got the, you know, the Jakiro and the Sark up in just a couple of seconds. They'll be back. The BKB's going to be popped by Miracle. Now the Rolling Thunder comes in from General. General does have this Yules, maybe get a little bit more control. The Remnant forward side of Fist, Searing Chains hits on Miracle. RMN, he's been bashed up. Swashbuckle comes through. They get the kill on the Bane. He doesn't have buyback, and now Weeha's in too far. Weeha hit with the Yules. BKB's been popped. Weeha lasso out on Ember. And, whoa, Iceberg just going to burn away.
tower is under attack.
Oh my god, I did not expect that at all.
Neither did I.
That's a haste rune, though. It just runs away so quickly.
They're going to go again. 4 step forward, looking for the pounce. V2 trying to get onto the high ground, but there's the flame break. Shiva's Icarus dive over, and it's really just GH continuing to keep his team alive.
Dude,
There's also a Hex here on Mind Control. Yules. And there's the break with the pounce. Swashbuckle doesn't get illuminate. Ipeth still avoiding it. Oh, God. Ow. Weeha just continuing to juke them out. Mac fire down, but what does that do? It just zones.
Miracle as well. Chrono up in 5.
And they need to be careful. Mind Control pops the BKB. He's also got the X that comes through on a General. He's silenced up. They've got the Supernova. Always want to fight. He's going to hit the deck. They'll kill the Kiro. They look and finish off General. Now they look for the rest of the Supernova pops. And, well, it doesn't hit anybody because they're all gone.
That was so sick by Weeha, though. Like, the Power got lucky as well because the Blinding like pushed him out of the ice path.
Yeah.
But, like, that was still really well played.
Blink. Beam break. Has lasso. And there's the Nightmare. Oh, geez. They've got themselves everything they need to get the kill on a V2. No buyback. 80 seconds. See you later.
This is going to be the second set of racks.
At least, yeah.
Can they defend without the Slark? Like, I don't think they can. And there's just, you know, the best about that, they didn't even use Chronosphere in that whole fight. So it's still up. Like, there's no tier 2s to defend them here either, so Nigma can just keep going. Miracle's reeing because he wants to Midas, but there's no Crete Wave.
Oh, BKB. Chronosphere comes in. Fiend's Grip out on General. Aloha Dance will die immediately, but General not so, or Iceberg not so fortunate to have that buyback. Always want to fly, looking dead once again as the BKB's been popped by Mind Control. Always want to fly, he's gone. 50 seconds, no buyback. Rolling Thunder comes in. General trying to fight Swashbuckle as well as the Bash hits onto Mind Control. No longer has the BKB, but they've got the Hex. So they look over at the Kato who just bought back. They'll get the kill. He's gone for 77 seconds. And it looks like the bottom tier 3 and the bottom set of racks are going to go.
I forgot how good Dota GH was, though. Like, before watching this game, they lassoed the...
Yeah, lasso gone. Team wipe. 7 seconds till the Slark will even come back alive before they call GG. No.
Really well played, though. I think RMN, like, even though he stood in for Nigma here, they still played, like, insanely well, right? That was really good to watch. I think they would put themselves in a really difficult position this game just from the draft, though, on FlyToMoon. Like, this Batrider pick completely ruined their game, like, with how they wanted to set up their lanes and everything. But, I think the fact that Miracle gets just free farm top, right? Like, you think, like, this mid lane, maybe you're like, okay, well, Batrider didn't do that well mid, right? But, like, that early rotation that he forced by the Keeper of the Light, by the Mind Control Prophet coming over as well, means that Miracle just gets absolute free farm in the top lane. Because there's nobody pressuring him. Like, the Pango can't do it by himself. And then all of a sudden, like, they never look like winning the game, right? Because like we said, once they get their BKBs up on the Nigma side, they don't have any damage on FlyToMoon. And it's really difficult. They have to, like, kite out the BKB durations, but, you know, how do you kite out with a Chronosphere? Like, it doesn't work, right? Unless you manage to leap out of it just before he casts it. FlyToMoon, I think, I'm disappointed we didn't get to watch them in game one with their full roster. Like,